Welcome, my friends. You are on Mav's Coffee Clarity, where we spill the beans weekly. That's right. Grab your cup of joe and join us. I bring on some really incredible people, sharing their business intel, their best life hacks, infused with humor, so you can hit the ground running with some fresh ideas. It's our way of helping you move forward. Some of the best things in my life have happened over a cup of coffee, so join us. Join in the coffee conversation. I bring on some very inspiring people, and today is no different, my friends. I met this person about a year and a half ago as I was relocating back to the hometown I grew up in, or the home county, Berkshire County. Everybody knows Berkshire County, right? Now it's on the map. It's like Rodeo Drive, but for countrified people. Anyways, I got this referral. I needed a mortgage broker. And, Troy and I have been in the art business for a million years, and it's always a challenge because every mortgage broker is always freaked out by the art business. They're like, oh, art businesses are not that stable. I can't give you a loan. Oh my God, are we in the Stone Age? But my cousin and my sister are realtors up here. And, you kind of go with where you're having your coffee. They referred Haley Burke, who actually took time out of her busy life to join us today to tell us not the typical mortgage broker story, right, Haley? Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad she's with us live from Ashley Falls.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
We got you way out here in Ashley Falls. I know you're a busy person. I want to say thank you. You did incredible work for us, but what inspired me to ask you to join us was your story. I mean, you're not the typical track to be a mortgage broker. Actually, we don't have our video on today, but I wish you could see Haley. She's got like her Rolling Stones t-shirt on with animal print tongue and her funky shoes. But this mortgage broker will get it done for you. Haley, tell us your story. Just tell us about you. You're just a fascinating person, exuding youth and energy and I know personally I'm a can-do, get-it-done girl. You're like a can-do, get-it-done girl, but you're on like 5 coffees to my 15 coffees.
I am. Thank you. I'm not totally sure how I really got here. Life is funny. If you look back at any of the life plans or this or that, it's all a bunch of junk. I mean, this is how do you get here? All the twists.
Did you know you wanted to be a mortgage broker?
I never would have thought I wanted to be a mortgage broker, anything in banking. And I mean, I thought I was going to be a professional motocross racer.
Wait a minute. You did motocross?
I did. I grew
when
up
did you do
motocross.
Yesterday you were in motocross? When was motocross?
It feels like it was yesterday. So I'm old enough to say it feels like yesterday. But I did throughout, my younger years, probably from around 11 to...
Wait a minute. Your parents got you on a motocross at 11?
They did.
Wow. They were courageous as well. Now I know where you get it from. Now that's not typically, and I'm not a gender, freaky person, but that's not typically a female sport, is it?
No, not at all. But I'm very competitive. And I think that part actually I'm determined.
Yeah. So you didn't care. You were like, I love motorcycles.
It's a competition and I'm going to prove you wrong.
Extreme sports.
Yes.
Is that how mortgages are? Is it extreme sports there too? Or where was wait a minute. So you're on a motorcycle at 11.
Yes.
And then what are you doing? I know you weren't riding it in your frilly tutu dress.
No, I was racing. On the track with the guys or the women's league.
Was it hard? Was it ever challenging?
It was always
Did you feel like you fit in from the beginning?
No, not necessarily. It takes a lot of work, determination. There was a lot of training, physical training, traveling around the world.
Wow.
Amateur nationals. It quickly consumed our life. But I will say it's kind of the building blocks to my life too. So
like in what way?
The determination, the achieving something, that accomplishment, keeping going.
Well,
get back on, you fall off, get back on again, keep going.
What's the craziest thing about motocross we don't know? Spill the beans there.
It's pretty rubbin's racing, and, but the same thing in life too. You say, I guess I'd say the same thing. My mom was there cheering me on and all that. And,
God, I'm a nervous Nelly. Was she a nervous Nelly?
She was definitely nervous. There's plenty of times I woke up in the hospital with her crying over saying, we're done. But,
woke up in the hospital. She just said that nonchalantly, everyone. I just woke up in the hospital.
Yeah. But it keeps it interesting, but that's and then all of a sudden, here we are, and everything that all taught me throughout life.
What did that teach you?
Just that drive and determination. You can do it.
You can do it.
Even if it's not easy, it takes a lot. It's not going to be overnight.
So some tenacity there. Yeah. Now, so you went from motocross, and then did you do that through high school as well?
I did do that through high school. And then I left. And I was moving to Florida, packed everything up, moved within 24 hours.
You had a spontaneous moment?
Yep.
Was this due to like an overage of coffee, or what happened?
No, unfortunately, I would say that there was a boyfriend that I was moving down there with. But you know what? I would never regret that move for the life of me. My mom thought, yeah, right, you'll be back. I had never paid my own bills, really done anything for myself per se. But that was great. The real world chewed me up, spit me out. Mm-hmm. I came back up here. I was looking for, I just needed a job. I knew I needed a job. I was applying everywhere. God, when I was down in Florida at one point, this is how I was like, what am I doing? Where am I going in life?
Yeah.
I was going around knocking on people's doors, trying to sell Kirby vacuums.
Wow. We were just talking about that in our session with someone else. It's like selling, right? Selling has a dirty connotation to it, unless you believe in it, right?
Right.
Because selling is sharing, and you're in sales. And I thought the work you did with us was marvelous, because I never felt like you were selling me anything. I felt like you were sharing. So when people say the car salesman or the vacuum salesman, I say, well, everyone needs a car and a vacuum. So it depends on who you're in bed with, right?
Walking around door to door in
hot Florida
or Orlando.
Wow.
Trying to sell Kirby vacuums. I was like, this is how I'm going to die. And so I was like,
did you sell
any?
Did you sell any vacuums?
No, I did not. I was like, I am from, little girl from Berkshire County, Massachusetts. I don't belong here doing what I'm doing. So I dropped off the vacuums. And because that would be like grand larceny. Those are expensive vacuums, Right. So I dropped them off one night and I took off and never went back. I've never done that on a job either. But I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I just got to get out of here. So, then I came back up, and
did you leave your boyfriend with the vacuums?
I should have.
Oh,
that was a thought. But I did come back up here, and I needed that job. I found myself in banking. Who would have ever thought that anybody you ask would laugh? But here I am. Now I'm stuck. And that's the thing I think is, I guess I'm not necessarily a salesman.
Well, you're a salesperson.
I guess. Yeah. I can't sell a vacuum. But,
okay.
The mortgages, they're good for you. So
they're healthy.
Right.
I guess. Maybe. Depends on what's happening. It's the American dream. Okay. Yes. So we know that you've gone from motocross to vacuums, back up into mortgages. But really what I find impressive about you is that you're fairly young to be in this line of work and to be as successful as you are. Would you say that's accurate?
I would say so, probably because that's how I feel people.
Are you an old soul?
I don't think I'm necessarily an old soul. I think I actually never really grew up. So
okay. So it's the fearlessness of just flying free, just crazy, fearless, extreme sports. All right. So now tell me, do you have children? You're married? I know that.
Yes,
I see
married.
Gigantic rocks on your hand.
I got married last April Fools, actually. They told us it was time for us to get married. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, we'll do my style. We would April Fools in Disney World. That's where we got married.
In Disney World?
Yes.
Fun.
It's my favorite place and my favorite day. And
so you have a sense of humor.
I do.
Right.
I do. I'm never serious. And actually, that's probably one of my downfalls that my husband always says.
You're not. I find you serious. I mean, you're very serious through the mortgage you tolerated me.
When you have to be, that's for sure. But I do. I have 3 kids. I have a husband and I have 2 daughters, Harper and Lena. And yeah.
And do they think you're funny?
They do. And when I get laughed at, my husband usually says, don't encourage it.
Don't encourage it. Okay, so tell me a typical day in your house. Mortgage broker, what's happening? How old are these kids?
My kids are 5 and 2. So the average
young.
day to get up is usually like my goal for the morning is to get us ready out of the house without me turning into my mother.
And what does that look like if you were to be your mother?
It's more like, what does it sound like?
Yeah, what does it sound like?
But it's pretty nasty.
Is it brutal?
We got to go. Yeah.
It's brutal. Is there swearing? No, it's not swearing. It can't be that brutal then.
Of course there is. And they're always let me know when it's a bad word too. So,
okay, so you're getting them out of the house and then what happens?
We do the school and daycare drop off. And then, then I hit the ground running. Depends on what my day looks like, whether I'm in meetings or.
And would you recommend this lifestyle to anyone, Haley? Like I find like mortgage broking pretty complicated, at the same time maybe monotonous, but you seem to make it fun.
I think it is fun.
Like you seem to like, and I didn't ever hear the word no out of your mouth.
I don't like to say no, but I do have to say it, unfortunately, sometimes, especially since the COVID era. But I do think it's fun. I think that it is, I kind of geek out, I guess, per se, in mortgages. And there's really no other aspect of my life that I'm really geek out. I'm not the best scholar per se, but I like it. I enjoy it. And it's fun. Real estate is fun.
Okay. A lot of people like real estate. A lot of people are afraid of real estate. So give me your 411 on that. Is real estate happening up here in the Berkshires? Are your clients fun? Because I think some of them are uptight.
There are. That's the thing. You meet so many different kind of people. A lot of them are great. They're not always that fun. But you get to see.
How do you crack through the hard ones? Like, give me an example of a hard one that you crack through I remember growing up in my grandmother's family business, and we had clientele from all over. Of course, not just Berkshire County. And some were really challenging to deal with. And I remember being a young person working with my grandmother, trying to figure out a way to make them smile or laugh, or at least like have a human side. So that was somebody at 13. How do you do it when you're selling them multi-million-dollar mortgages or first homes or whatever it is?
Well, I guess really just being a real person. I think that's.
Do they tolerate that? Can they deal with real?
Sometimes I have to filter it a little bit, but also
like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah. A little bit. You can say anything with a smile. It's really what I've learned in my adult life.
Is that your hack? Because that's my hack.
Yeah. And then some people like laugh and they're like, see, they think I'm joking. It's the best way to say exactly what you're thinking. And see, they laugh and you're like,
Right. So give me a scenario of something that you thought was going really well that went south and how you turned it around. Because what I want the listeners to know is, like, if someone has tenacity and rides motocross since they're 11 and have gone through like 2008 and the pandemic, and they're in what seems like a pretty traditional career track, but you make it fun, especially with your Rolling Stone t-shirt outfit on. Like, so that tells me there's hope. That tells me there's hope for almost any profession. It's almost like the approach you take to it.
Right? Well, I mean, I have a blazer on, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, it shows your personality.
Business with a party. Yeah.
Business with a party.
That's right.
That's another great hack.
But I would say really, you know what? I think that drive and determination, like I'm competitive, and when the kind of cookie cutter easy ones, they're great. They always have a great story to it, but I think the best ones are going to be those tough ones, the ones that do almost go south.
Well, what is a tough one? Tell me what's a tough one, because the way you act and operate in public, it seems like nothing tough comes your way. Doesn't seem like you've had any hardship in this field.
I would definitely do. Like, when somebody comes to you, they were already with another financial institution. They're already under contract. They're already past all of their dates, and they're coming to you to like pick up the pieces and piece it all together within like 30 days or less. When the last one got like 60, 90 days to try. You know, those ones are the ones that like, we're going to make this work.
What's the craziest thing someone's ever said to you? Craziest.
I think usually the craziest is when somebody, I don't know word for word what they said, but the craziest is when they act like I'm a young girl. I don't know what I'm doing and I don't belong in this position, and that they want to speak to somebody else.
And then what do you say? Do you, I don't know, I'm a Gemini. That's when I would say the other Gemini comes out and says, hello. What do you say?
Yeah, same thing. You know, with a smile, you usually just politely put it back and reiterate exactly, you know, where I come from and how I've gotten. And, you know, sometimes I think, well, thank you. I'm glad I looked at you. I'm not that young. You know, I've been in this business for going on 14 years now in banking.
You're very successful.
Established person. And I think one of the things too is I always laugh at is like, I actually know like quite a bit because I did come up through the mortgage processing, underwriting and stuff before.
Oh, so you did all the things.
So
okay.
I think that's why I geek out so much is like, I'm a why person, and I kind of figured out the whys before I went into the sales part. So,
so you understand the process from the floor up.
Yes.
Yes. I imagine that your daughters look at you with great admiration and esteem. Like you seem like to me an incredible role model. Now, are you seeing nuances of that in their reaction to you?
Yes.
Like what do they do? Are they wearing your high heels around and carrying your briefcase and trying to type on your computer yet?
No, not necessarily on that part. I think they like my more fun parts. So usually they're walking around with like my Grinch mask on. That's like my favorite thing that I've ever bought in my life is I'm usually the Grinch.
Is that your Halloween costume?
Maybe I could do it for Halloween. I actually did wear it to my daughter's friend's birthday party the other day. It was a Halloween party.
I have my favorite costume too, that I relentlessly wear every year. It's the wicked witch with a big pumpkin head. Okay, but it's not about me, Haley. So what do you think? Your kids, are they role modeling you? Are you hearing that language yet? Because what I know with my daughter, even though she would probably tell you it's not true, I've seen like nuances of me being a working mom, how it's affected her, executive functioning skills now. Like she can handle more. She doesn't always act like she can handle more, but when push comes to shove, she's just more resourceful. Are you seeing that in 2 and 5 yet?
Yeah, I would say that too. They're very determined themselves, very competitive too. Same thing.
Would you let them ride motocross?
I would let them try. I don't know. The tables have definitely turned now that I'm older, and I think I would definitely be scared. But I never say never. I'm ready to buy that soon. Their father isn't totally
on board with
that one, but okay. We'll see. But they're a lot like me. Their drive, their anger, their spunk too. That's for sure. They are definitely a lot like me, and they're funny.
They're funny too.
So I think that's
like
my
what's the funniest
accomplishment.
Because they have a really well-rounded personality. So what's the funny thing they said to you recently?
Oh, well, their favorite joke right now is, why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because.
Good for. Did they make that up themselves?
I don't even remember. I think my 5-year-old told it to me for the first time, and that's been our favorite one, and we're joking around. My 2-year-old just keeps going to the house, because. And it's just funny.
You use the sense of humor as a tool?
Yeah, the sense of humor is always there. That's for sure.
Even when you're pissed?
Yeah.
You find it as a course of action to kind of unwind energy that's going the wrong way?
I mean, there's a line across and then the humor's kind of out the window.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part.
Everybody has that line.
That's how we get through our days, really.
How's your husband feel about the humor?
Sometimes I'm really funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just can't stand it.
Right. Like my daughter will say to me, Mom, everything isn't a joke. I go, but it is.
But
it is. Unless it's life-threatening, it kind of is. Okay, so I remember when we were talking offline, you said you were also a competitive ski racer. It seems to me like you're sort of fearless. That's what kind of, even through the vacuum extravaganza, got you through to where you are now. What's the thing you're most proud of Like what, if you had to, you're talking to a whole bunch of people that are listening that could be in a spot where they're like, they don't know where their next career move is. Maybe they're in a change, a transformation. Maybe they're breaking up. Maybe they don't even understand humor. Maybe they're just pissed at the world. What can you tell them that's your greatest moment that you didn't ever think would happen?
Well, I never thought I would have kids, so obviously that's one of my greatest accomplishments. But I mean, even just making it to where I am now, fake it till you make it is really how I get through life.
That's your super hack?
Yeah, that is my super hack. Nobody knows that I'm actually like in the dryer cycle in life, like depending on the day. You fake it till you make it, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, like I did it. I made it.
So when you think about that adage, do you approach everything like that? Even a parent-teacher meeting, meeting a new client, is it just fake it till you make it?
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm talking about, but at the same time,
you definitely know what you're talking about.
And then you screw up and you learn, and you're never going to do that again. So,
what's the trickiest thing people don't know about going for a mortgage that you wish they knew?
That it's so possible. Homeownership is so possible. I mean, at the same time, you think you're too young, you don't have the savings, the market's crazy, the rates are high, but there's always that opportunity is always there. You just gotta fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
There's 100%.
Is there anybody you would say doesn't need a home?
Me, I kind of want to sell my home and everything in it and live like a gypsy in a motorhome.
So you've had enough of the American dream. You just are ready to be in the motorhome. There's days I feel the same way. But then there's days I'm out here in the new home you helped us get, and I'm at such peace that I just want to share that kind of peace. I feel like when you find something that motivates you, because I'm very competitive too, you figure it out and you get there, and then there's a little bit of a euphoria that you want to share. That's the one thing I remember about you. Even Troy said, that's my husband, when you were very flawless in the process and it was coming together very quickly. He's like, this is too good to be true. Don't tell a soul. Don't you dare. This is not happening. We've been BS so much in Connecticut. Is this girl for real? And I'm like, I don't know. Seems pretty for real to me. I've given her every document 6 ways to Sunday.
Right?
Yeah. So how does your family look at you with all this success? Are they surprised? Are they shocked? Are they like they knew it? And where do you fall? Like, do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older brother, an older sister, and a younger sister. So I think everybody's just like shocked, like a business, like that. It just doesn't make sense, really, knowing me. But at the same time, I think my mom's always super proud. She's a business type of person. So I guess I'm in a little more following in her footsteps in the business aspect of things. But I'm never going to like outshine my younger sister. She's in like doctorate school, veterinarian school, to whatever it is, finishing off school. She's super smart. She's that golden child. So,
yeah, but you know what I say about that, Haley? I think it's how you touch the hearts and minds of people. I don't, to me, it doesn't really matter and I have never met your sister. So congratulations to her for all that education. And of course, I have a 14-year-old Maltese poodle that's driving me crazy. So we need more good vets. But it doesn't have to do with anything in my book about your level of education or how much money you make or how perceived beautiful you are. It has to do with how you make people feel. And if you make people feel good and heard and seen, then you only have the elevator going up. Your elevator's not going down. That's how I look at it. Okay, so we're kind of coming to the end. I'm seeing Haley in a whole different light. So glad to sit down with you and actually chat with you. So let's say you're training the next generation, or better yet, we can't go 5 years. Let's go 3 years out. Where's Haley in 3 years? What's the imaginary crystal ball look like for Haley? What's happening? Everybody will be 5 and 10, a little more freedom there. We're not sure what the hubby's doing, but what are you doing 3 to 5?
I am hopefully still in the same position. At the same time, I have higher aspects. So hopefully I'm just beating myself that much more down the road. Like I'm always at competition with myself. So, every year it's maybe you closed this many or did this. It's always like, well, I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. So hopefully I have accomplished a little more than I have so far today. In the real estate world, likely, hopefully, because I do like it. And hopefully my kids haven't made me too crazy yet.
The greatest thing I hear there, Haley, is that you only compare yourself to where you were yesterday. And I love that. An old sage mentor of mine told me that maybe many years ago as well. Like, don't compare yourself to anybody else. You'll always be better than or you'll be less than. Only compare yourself to where you've come from. So, Haley, it has been a pleasure spilling the beans with you. You are one spectacular person. I'm telling you right now, if you guys need a mortgage or just someone to wear the Grinch mask to your party and tell you you're not friggin' crazy, I need you to call Haley Burke, okay? Haley Burke.
Yes, please, they love me.
Give us one final hack. Spill that last bean, Haley. Come on. Spill it. Come on. You've got it, Grinch. Move it. Is it fake it till you make it?
Just keep swimming.
Keep swimming.
Don't plan it out.
Don't plan it out. Go with the flow.
Yes.
Okay, my friends, that's Mav's Coffee Clarity. You spilled the beans. That's right. You sipped on some strong roast. You got some creativity. It's Halloween. I don't know. Maybe we should all wear the Grinch mask. Thank you, Haley Burke.
Thank you.
You guys can follow me on my social. We'll have Haley's contact information there for you, and we'll see you next week.